I'd like to introduce Hesham Al-Samarri. He was our camper to Camp RYLA, and he's here to talk to us about that. Thank you, Hesham.
Hi, my name is Hesham Al-Samarri. I'm from Lebanon. It's a country in the Middle East. My dad is from Iraq, and my mom's from Syria. I came here to America when I was 1, and I've always had that motive to want to focus on school and actually do something with my life.
And talk louder.
Okay.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Minor
adjustments. You can stand.
Minor adjustment. There you go.
So like I was saying, yeah, I've always had that interest to want to do something in my life. My main goal in life was to become a billionaire one day. So, it's a big goal to reach for and strive for. Being able to join on the Camp RYLA situation, at first I was like, it seemed like not a interesting event. Like I felt like I didn't really want to go there. Like my mom, she said that maybe it'll bring some greater good to you. There'll be things to do over there. You get to know new people, and it'll just be a great experience. It's only 5 days. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then like when I actually got to the day, the day before actually deciding to go there, like my mom, she comes home and she has like a bunch of items, and it's basically all the camp items, and and I was like, wow, this is actually a thing. I'm actually gonna go there. I didn't think that was gonna happen. And so when I did actually go there, like, I came out of the car. I went on the ride it was like an hour, and I got out of the car, and I was introduced to like a whole different atmosphere. Like everybody was joyful, everybody was free spirited, and everybody just they were just so happy and joyful, and they all like started running at me, and I was like, what is this? What am I doing here? Like I felt like a introvert, and everybody was like an extrovert. So it was nice. Like the first day of actually going to my camp, like actually meeting actually meeting like all the members. Everybody had like their own thing. Like everybody had a talent, and then like I looked at myself and I didn't have a talent, so it was kind of like I felt out of place. But even though I didn't like exactly have like a talent like playing the guitar or playing the piano or something like that, they still like brought me in and accepted me as one of them. We called our camp the woke ones because we were always like devoted to do something, always like joyful, always jumping around and screaming. I got to know a lot of people. There was 23 members in my cabin. There is 12 girls and 11 guys, and yeah. So yeah.
Who were some of your speakers?
One of my speakers was Scooter. I really liked him. He was my favorite speaker of all of them because he talked about business, and that's something I'm really interested in. And he was one of the motivational speakers for Forbes. That really interested in me because I want to be a billionaire, son. And I got the chance to talk to him after. He talked about what he basically he told us what he does, and about his situation. I got to talk to him, and I asked him, about me wanting to start a business one day, and he was like, okay, save me a spot at lunch, and I'll go talk to you. So, I saved him a spot at lunch, and then he sat there, and like at first, like he introduced himself and everything, and we talked. Like we didn't really talk. He was eating the entire time, and at the last moment when I actually got, at the last moment, I guess he was waiting for me because he wanted to see if I would actually talk to him about it rather than him just like force me into talking about it. So I guess he finally waited until like when we were about to leave. And then I talked to him and I said something and he's like, okay, so what kind of business ideas do you have? And I said something like, okay, like I was thinking, like when you go to the grocery store and you're trying to buy items and, you always get receipts and those receipts cost a lot of money, for companies, it costs billions of dollars to create. I looked up articles about it and, like there's Samsung Pay now, but they still don't capture the receipts and they don't get rid of the receipts. So I thought maybe if I do the same thing as Samsung Pay, but introduce a little idea, because also like I heard Scooter, like when he was speaking in front of the crowd, he was saying that, like I asked him a question and I raised my hand and he was like, and I asked him like, what did it take for those, like what's one unique trait that you found in every Forbes member and like, what did they do to achieve that success? And he said, one thing that I found in every single member is they took an idea and they made it better. They put something in that just made it a little bit better and then it became something great and now they're millionaires. So, that was really nice to hear. So I told him about the idea and he said he was really intrigued about it and he gave me his phone number. And I tried to call him, but he's really busy. He has a lot to do, and I understand. I'm gonna be trying to talk to him more often. So about more about the cabin experience. The cabin was fun, but the people was what made it great. Like everybody was awesome. Everybody motivated you no matter what, even if you lost, like at a particular sport or activity. They were always trying to motivate you, always trying to promote you, and just keep you, positive the entire time. I noticed a lot of people change within the cabin. Everybody like came, like there were some people that they would jump around and they were always excited, like Cody, but the rest of them, a lot of them were very quiet and very shy. But after like the second day, everybody was screaming, shouting, dancing, and we would always get all the other cabins to dance with us, and it was just amazing to see. Like I felt like it was a complete different lifestyle. Like I've always had that focus that, oh, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna finish college, like I'm gonna get a full ride to college, finish, get a job, start making money, start a business, and just live a basic life. Like I wasn't really focused on having friends, having, like a family to love, but as soon as I went there, it just changed my whole lifestyle. Like my entire mindset right now is like, I want to get to know more people, everybody was friendly. It's just, I don't know what to say. Honestly, like on the last day I cried. Like I cried because like I teared up. It was just so sad to see everybody leaving. And, I felt that, I wish it was longer. Like even Linda told me like, most members come back crying and they miss it. They wish that they stayed longer. And, I felt like that was not going to happen to me. I was like, I'm not really emotional. I don't really cry that all too often. And then I guess I was wrong. Yeah.
Tell them about the board.
Oh. So this is like a board, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. It's a broken board now. It's not like, it's two boards. So this, one of the motivational speakers, I forgot what his name was, but he said, write something that you feel like is your biggest barrier, like something that's holding you back from becoming the person that you want to be. And, for me, it was my height. I'm not exactly that tall. I'm like 5'7", and, my brother's 6'1", so I'm over here wondering whether if I'm ever going to reach his height. And you know, another one was like me not, like people always told me that I'm not going to be successful, you know, people always brought me down. And, you know, that was just like a really hard moment for me, you know. And uh, so he said to write something down that's holding you back. And that's one of the things is height and people saying that I can't reach goals, you know, the goal of becoming a billionaire. And, you know, that's something people always told me, you're not going to become it. Like even sometimes my family members would say you would not become it. I think I had like one person that always believed in me, and that was my brother. And, you know, so I wrote it down, and he said, we're going to get every single person in here to break a board. And, you know, I felt like, you know, like I was holding it and I was trying to like, you know, see how strong it is. And it was actually really durable. It's not like one of those weak boards that you see. So I like, we waited, and then like they said that, you know, they could bring 2 volunteers up here, and they brought a girl and a guy. And so they made the girl go up there first, and, you know, we're like, oh, if she doesn't break this, you know, everybody's gonna go crazy, and everybody's gonna think they can't do it. So we saw her. She was the first one to go up there, and she went ahead, and like, you know, she looked really weak. Like she didn't look like a strong, you know, buff girl or something like that. And she was pretty short. And on her first try, she broke the board. And, you know, that kind of motivated everybody to want to break it. They're like, oh, I can do it now. I can do it now. I can do it now. So they put us into groups, and we all would break the board. And we had teams. The person that we talked to about our board and like our problem, our barriers. I talked to Chi, and I can't say what his barrier is. You know, that's confidential, I guess. Yeah. So we all got in a group in our cabin, and we all put the board in the middle on 2 stones, and you know, it was all a mind game. And it was a technique. Like everybody thought, you know, you just like punch it, or like you just, you know, do a karate chop, and, you know, it'll break the board. But what they said was to, you know, he showed us the technique to how to break it, and he told us that it's all mind power. It's not, oh, just because you're strong that you can automatically break this. It's all in your head. And, you know, we got in front of the crowd, and everybody tried it. And some people weren't able to break it on their first try. And I was one of the lucky few to be able to break it on my first try. But the people that weren't able to break it on their first try, like instead of, you know, people feeling down for that person, everybody just jumped up and started screaming for them to, like they were cheering them on to try again and try again and try again. And we wouldn't move on to the next person until we broke that barrier. And, you know, we finished off with that day with everybody breaking their barrier. And once we got back to the cabin, we talked about, you know, what our issue is and what our barrier is. And, you know, like I looked at my barrier and I compared it to the rest of them, because like they were all talking about how their life is, you know, like they talked about their life, and each one of them had some difficult problem in their life. And I felt like mine was nothing compared to theirs. So I felt in that moment, I felt blessed to be given this opportunity to go out there and to, you know, such a simple barrier that I had to get through. And, you know, a lot of them were tearing up and everything, but we didn't laugh at them or say anything. Even the guys were tearing up, and, you know, you would expect the guy to not tear up in front of other guys in a cabin, but everybody was, you know, everybody felt emotional that day. And it was just, it was a great experience. Like that really showed me that there's real people in this world, like people that with actual problems and people that try to hold it back. And that's where they fall down. You know, that's something that they don't take upon themselves. And a lot of people don't hear them out. A lot of people are bad in this world, and we got to accept it. But there is still good people in this world. And every one of those members at Camp RYLA was a good person, and they still are. And I'm sure they're all going to become successful. Louder. Oh, okay.
Also, tell us, what are your future as far as what are the Rylarians going to be doing? You say you're going to get back together? Or?
Yeah. So as soon as we got back home, everybody jumped on their phone, and you know, everybody would expect you to go on Twitter and check all the feed that you missed, with your other friends from your school. But instead, everybody got on, and we all, we created a group chat on Snapchat. We created one on group.me. We created one on Twitter. We created so many different group chats, and everybody was like tearing up, and everybody was like looking at the pictures on the USB. And there's over like 1,000 pictures, but I saw every single picture on the first day, and I still look at them sometimes. Like even they sometimes just like message us about their pictures. Events that we're gonna do. So one of them, she has a house, like I think it's in the country, but it's not too far. Nobody cares about the drive. We all decided on going there, and we're probably gonna take one of my friends' van, Joe, I think. He said that it holds like 11 people, so he said he's gonna take everybody, and we're gonna have like a little Christmas party over there, and that's gonna be really fun, and I can't wait until that. It'll be fun. Like I hope. Yeah. Another event is the reunion, which is going to be November. Yeah. So for that, I told people that I'll be taller when I get back. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. So everybody's going to come back November. Everybody already said, even if it's like a day where we have school, we're all going to skip. Nobody cares about that. It's just senior year.
Well, you talk like making a phone call was a big deal. Is that a problem with you?
Y'all did not having a
They
phone
don't
for a
know.
week. They didn't know that you
They
couldn't
don't
pay
know
for it.
about you.
I felt like having a phone was like not having a phone there was going to be a big problem. Like I was like, what am I going to do this entire time? I'm going to spend like 13 hours per day doing nothing, and turns out I didn't even need the phone. Like I came back and I didn't even use my phone for like days. I waited like 2 weeks until I actually like really got back into it. And and Linda knows me. I'm always on my phone.
He just doesn't return my calls.
Hey, you call me at school. I can't be a bad student.
I text. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us? What other activities did you do? Like you said, you did swimming and.
Oh yeah, we had a swimming competition. We had like a little tournament. It was like basically the Olympics, except Camp RYLA Olympics. I did the swimming event because I used to be in swimming, and I got the chance to show to my people, to my fellow Rylians, my skill in swimming, and there was also like canoeing. There was also an obstacle course that we had to go through, and we had to do that obstacle course as a group, and we had to time ourselves. And that event required like a lot of teamwork, and that's something that on the first day we were really bad at, but within the second, third day, we understood each other like that, and we didn't even have to say anything to each other. Like one of the things was carrying, like we would all have a rope, and we would hold it from like one side, and we would always there's a little egg in the middle, and you would have to raise it with your raise it slowly, and everybody's surrounded in a circle, and you have to put it and gently tap on the top of like a stick or something on the floor. And at first we tried it with only using like with talking, but then the counselors and everything, they recommended not doing that. They recommended not talking at all this time. So when we did that, I think that really sparked something that showed that like we were able to beat it when at first we couldn't even get to the first one. When we didn't talk at all, we beat all 5 rounds, 6 rounds, and that just showed that you don't need to be conversating 24/7 to get your plan out there. You can, you know, like people nowadays know, like they can mentally notice something, you know, like hand gestures and such. We use that, and that allowed us to dominate the activity. Is there any questions?
So when you went out there, Hesham, I mean, you sound like a very inspired young man right now.
Yeah.
How much difference is that from where you were before? Just on a scale of, you know, 1 to 10, you know, where are you from where you were before? What do you feel?
So before I was like 0, and now I'm like 11, you know. I think I went over the scale. Yeah.
He was always, he's my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
And so he was always in his room. He's up all night long on his computers. He wasn't very sociable, even though I'm his granny. He doesn't, you know. And so I know he's going to succeed. I know he's going to be a billionaire because he's promised me some things when he becomes. So we're all keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But no, he has changed. His parents are so excited that we really forced him into going.
Yeah.
And so he is a very outstanding student. From his elementary school, he was top of his class. Junior high, I've gone to his awards presentations at school. He's top of his class. He's taken AP classes. How many college credits do you already have?
Like 30, 40.
But he takes all the AP classes that are dual. That he gets high school credit and also college credit. So he's a very active, smart. He's waiting for scholarships now. So his whole family, very smart. And so anyway, we're really proud of him. So are there any other questions?
Yeah. Well, comment, we've taken a number of students to RYLA. And most of them, all the way, no one goes. But then we go back a week later and pick them up, and they don't come up. Yeah. So something happened.
Oh,
It's the people.
it's the people out there, he says. So, so we look forward to each year. Hopefully this next year, we're going to have Bill and Lisa's niece. I think is going to be a senior. So I think we're going to sponsor her. And we're happy to see Jose Rodriguez back, Chris Lavario here, and Sean, David, me, Charlotte online, and I don't know why I'm getting an echo now. Maybe I'm talking too loud. Oh, and Bill's here. Where's Bill? He was at the PDA. What happened? Where's Bill? Did you chase Bill off, Lisa? Unmute.
Larkin chased him off. Bill came home while we were in the meeting and he was on the screen for just a few minutes and he's taken her in the other room now.
Oh, okay. Well, because we saw that PDA. So are there any other questions? Public display of affection. Huh? No, BDA, PDA.
No, it was video, so it's a B.
Oh, well, it's still public. So anyway, anybody have any more questions for Hesham? Any more?
He's a senior or what?
He's senior at Jack Singley Academy in Irving.
It's basically like a high school / college. It's you get like picked in a little rally, and it's like a role, and whether you get chosen or not.
Is it a lottery?
Yeah, it's basically like a lottery. Yeah, and you know,
Special Academy of the school district or something?
Yeah.
yeah, and
cool.
you get to join like specialties like as soon as you start freshman year, and it depends on what you want to be. Like if you want to be like a doctor one day, you go into medical. If you want to be like a lawyer, you can go into, yeah, there's also like
Culinary.
There's culinary. There's a culinary field. There's computer maintenance, computer programming. I went to computer programming because I want to do software. So there's also like lawyer, and they have rooms that look exactly like, you know, a college atmosphere. Like everything is over there is college atmosphere. They have a bunch of dual credit classes you can take, a bunch of AP credit you can receive, and it's just a nice experience. It's way better than like most other high schools that are just basic. Yeah.
When I was governor, we had our governor-elect, we had our district assembly over there, and the students from the culinary class prepared lunch for us and our breakfast thing. So, and it was named after the former superintendent of schools, which I did know. He was a Rotarian in the Irving Rotary Club. So it's a very nice school. We had, just recently, we had something over there. What was it? Was that when we went to the RYLA orientation? We had it over there. And so they're always holding different things over there. It's very nice. And sort of like Dubisky and Grand Prairie, it's a career high school. So they can go into different fields, and they have the halls and the sign across it, whatever. But it's a really good school. So anyway, and then his sister is a teacher, fourth grade teacher, a math teacher. So she also went to Singley, didn't she? Or
Yeah.
she went to MacArthur and Singley.
No, she went to.
She went to Singley. Okay. So anyway, but thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
thank you. That was great. And we're glad you went.
you're welcome. Thank you. And his mother didn't come tonight because she was afraid it would make him nervous. So we'll see a repeat on it, Chris, that when it's recorded, she can look at it. So thank y'all. If you don't have any more, questions, have I left anything out? You got your email this morning from Lynn. No other things? Well, we'll just close up early with a 4-way test. Rick, why don't you lead us in the 4-way
All
test?
right, everybody, of the things we think, say, or do. First.
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it be a goodwill and better friendships?
And fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Number 5.
Will it be fun?